Hey, good afternoon, everyone. People are still filing into the room, so I'm going to hold off about a minute or two and wait for everybody to come in. So hang on there, and we're going to start. Thanks a lot. All right. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to open up the chat window. So if you have any questions as we go, feel free to answer any questions that you might have. I think this is going to be a very, very instructive hour for you on cryptocurrencies, how they work, how to value them. I'm actually going to give you some really, really concrete material on what are the best cryptocurrencies to buy. I call them my 12 blue chip altcoins, and why don't we roll here? And you know we're www.rightlinetrading.com, info at Rightline Trading. And here's our phone number, and I'll show you that again at the end, 786-713-5276. And let me just start with a little bit of a warning, and that is that this investment niche has really drawn to it. If you go to Facebook and if you go to your spam mail, you're going to see that it's just simply deluged with all these crypto geniuses, and they sort of have come out of the woodwork like cockroaches, and it's because this is a new niche, and so it creates a vacuum, and there are a lot of traders like yourselves who want to make money in it and want to learn about it. And I get emails all the time from guys telling you, providing you with a 100,000% cryptocurrency routine and strategy. And what I've done is I've subscribed to all of their material. And I think I've done, just excuse me for 1 second. 1 sec. I'm sorry. And I've subscribed to all their material. And essentially, they don't give you anything concrete. There's no setups. One of them spent 4 hours of the 7 hours of video talking to 4 people in his living room while they sat and they took notes. Just real lousy stuff. But they entice you with this incredible come on. And they're not investing geniuses. They're simply crypto geniuses. And basically their goal is to offer you the dream. And I'd like to provide you with the dream, but that's not my come on. I hope you can quit your day job, but I'm going to provide you with some real concrete information about maybe how we can make that possible. And I'm not a clever marketer. What I am is a trader and an investor. And I think there's a real difference. I don't do pre-recorded webinars. They're called evergreen webinars. Everything I do is live, and everything is very, very low, really low priced. And I don't start off with a $40,000 package. So I just wanted to relate what's going on now a little bit to internet stocks and the internet bubble, because I was an avid investor back in the 1996, really, 2000 year period. And at the time, I was not a particularly savvy investor. And absolutely everything that I bought went up. And just as there is now, there were dozens of internet gurus who flooded the internet with their stock newsletters. And those newsletters flourished because all of their recommendations always worked. And everything that I bought worked. And I'll tell you, this is a true story. I made $480,000 on one trade in one day, doing something I absolutely had little clue about. And one of the stocks I used to love to trade was called Commerce One. I don't know how old everybody is in the room. And if you go back that far, if you traded internet stocks, but there was Commerce One, there was Ariba, there was Vertical Net. They were B2B stocks, business to business. They never made any money. All they did was lose money quarter to quarter, but they had amazing valuations. So I bought 1,500 shares of Commerce One, which was sort of the Cadillac of the B2Bs. And I had no idea, but the following morning, and I was on a ski lift when I bought it with my cell phone. And I just did it on a whim. And I did it because everything that I ever bought was going up. So I figured, well, I'll buy Commerce One, it'll go up too. And I had no idea it was splitting 4-to-1 in the morning. So in the morning, I owned 6,000 shares, and the stock went up 100 points. Now, it was only about a $160 or $70 stock, and it went up 100 points to close to 300. And it closed up 80 points. I had 1,500 shares. I made $480,000 in one day at the time that the position closed. And I had no idea what I was doing. And by 2004, Commerce One was trading at 50 cents, down from $300 a share. And even at 50 cents, there was no other bigger company that felt that they had enough proprietary software or enough patented software to warrant a purchase. And the company simply went belly up, and the ticker just was wiped off the NASDAQ. And I believe that a lot of that is going to happen to these altcoins. They're trading at tremendous valuations. It's very hard to determine what the true value of a coin is. And in 3 or 4 years, a lot of these altcoins that are being traded up fairly high are going to be gone. And there's going to be a lot of traders holding them when they collapse and die. And the thing that we have to make sure is that we're not one of them. And we don't make the same mistakes that a lot of traders did during the internet era. Now, I've read a lot of stuff about actually valuing an altcoin, and it's very, very, very difficult. And let me tell you why. A company on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange reports quarterly earnings. You know earnings per share. You know whether they're profitable. You know whether they're growing. You know the top line. You know the bottom line. You know the price to earnings ratio. You know all these metrics. But on an altcoin, which is simply a tech company wrapped around, it's a software company with a purpose, wrapped around an altcoin, they never report earnings. You don't know how much money is coming into the company. You have no idea what their profit margin is. And so creating a valuation is exceedingly difficult. And that's a lot of the material that I've been reading. And this is information that comes from journals that publish academic types of paperwork and papers talking about how difficult it is to really value any particular cryptocurrency. I'd like to ask the traders in the room one question, and that is, does anyone have any idea what determines the value of an altcoin? It's only since it doesn't have any earnings per share, it has no corporate metrics, doesn't report quarterly earnings. You have no idea how much money is coming into the top line, dropping to the bottom line. They provide you with no information, and they're required to provide you with nothing, and they don't. What creates, like right now, Bitcoin's about $12,000 a coin. Why is it valued at $12,000 a coin? Does anyone have any idea? Come on. I mean, one person to give you one idea. Okay. Well, Lucille, in a way, you're right. And Lucille said emotion and greed. And you know what, Lucille? Yes, that's it. It's the law of supply and demand, Gary. That is the only factor driving price. Now, in a way, that's a real positive. It's a pure supply and demand market because there's no, and Lucille, you're right. People buy out of greed, and they also buy out of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And that's what creates greed. So that FOMO and that greed is really what's driving the price of these coins up right now. We have no idea what they're truly worth or what they're going to be trading, what the price they're going to be trading at a year from now, because we have no metrics regarding how much money they're earning or what is going to be their use. So with that said, let's move forward. And this is why I want to end it here by saying these crypto geniuses and these crypto cockamamie lunatics don't know squat, because there is no blueprint to 100,000%. It just takes an enormous amount of due diligence, an enormous amount of work on the fundamental side and on the technical side. And even then, it's really a best, it's a guesstimate, because right now there's no numbers. Now, I just related quickly back to the stocks I traded in the internet era and the mistakes we don't want to make again. I love Commerce One and Vertical Net and Ariba and Redback Networks and JDS Uniphase, Exodus, Lycos, Earthlink. Now Qualcomm's still around, but Qualcomm went up 10,000% in the internet era. And the price it's trading for now, split adjusted, is enormously high. It used to split every 6 months. And the other stock I like to trade was Audible. And Audible's trading at a small price right now. It's a very good company. All these other companies are bankrupt. They were not. Now, Redback Networks was purchased. All of these others just went out of business. Now, Lycos is around. It's not really important. The bottom line is that these all had huge valuations and went absolutely down the toilet. We don't want that to happen with us. This was a new niche, and so are the cryptocurrencies. And we don't want to get caught holding a Lycos or an Exodus when this whole market collapses. And I think it is going to implode. Now, it is an amazing opportunity. Only I'm not going to get on a video like I see all the time. And are you crazy about cryptocurrencies? Because what they want to do is they want to hype you and get your adrenaline going and drive you to the buy page. I'm very excited about it, which is why I'm investing in it. And every investment, I have an options alert newsletter. Every trade I recommend, I take it with my own portfolio and my own money. And I make that available to anyone who subscribes to the options alert newsletter. So far in 2018, we've closed 10 positions and they've all made money. Today we closed Google. We made a lot of money on our Google vertical spread. We had Microsoft expire, but it was a put spread, so we made 100% of our net credit, and we've got 10 positions and 10 winners because I do tremendous due diligence, and because the newsletter and the services I provide are simply an outcropping of what I already do, because I want to make money from the recommendations I make, which is really the reverse of what these marketers do. All they want to do is make money from selling to you, and they never take the recommendations they make. So there's a big difference, but this really is a new asset class. There were stocks, bonds, gold, currencies, and now there are cryptocurrencies. And it does provide us with a tremendous opportunity to make a lot of money if we're very prudent and we're very careful about what we do. And the one thing we don't want to do is do what a lot of people are doing right now, buying willy-nilly all these 1 cent altcoins, hoping they'll go to 7 cents to give you a 7-bagger. That is, if you're interested in day trading penny altcoins, this is the wrong place. Because what we're looking to do is to create a blue chip portfolio of altcoins. We're going to alternate some out and alternate some in. This is what I do with my options portfolio. We have about 12 to 15 positions, diversified positions, which almost nobody does in the options arena. We're going to repeat in the cryptocurrency arena. We're going to look for blue chip cryptocurrencies, and we're going to create a portfolio of non-overlapping services. So we don't obtain 2 altcoins that provide competing services or software. We want to keep everything diversified. And I'm making a lot of comparisons with an options portfolio, but by diversifying an options portfolio, you optimize the chances for making money. And by diversifying our altcoin portfolio, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So the goal of our portfolio, I really would like to make 500 to 1,000%, because my money is in this as well. And like I said, we're going to create a blue chip portfolio. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm not looking to make money on a 1 cent altcoin, although there are some real cheap altcoins I like, and I'm going to tell you about them. I'm not going to hide anything from you. This isn't a teaser. I want you to get some great, solid information from this webinar, so that if you never hear or talk to me again, you're going to walk away and say, you know what, I learned a lot from that webinar. And we're not going to succumb to the FOMO syndrome. What we're going to do is, I don't know if anyone's heard about the HODL strategy, but FOMO and HODL. HODL is the altcoin investor who was asked what he wanted to do with Bitcoin, and he was drunk in his car, and he said, "I want to hold it," and that meant hold. We're going to do a HODL strategy. We're going to buy and we're going to hold. Now, maybe not for a lifetime and maybe not for a year, but we're not going to buy and sell it in a day or buy and sell it in a week. Now, let me just give you a brief introduction to digital currencies. And I'm going to make this really pretty quick. But I do want you to understand how altcoins work. And I want you to understand what a blockchain is, so that you can be an educated investor. Now, as I said, it's very difficult to create a valuation for an altcoin. What I've done is broken it down into 3 different categories. Now, overall, there are 2 different kinds of altcoins. One that we perceive will be actually used as a form of currency outside of its niche. Potentially that Bitcoin will be used worldwide as a currency, because Bitcoin has no software purpose. It has no digital purpose other than to be used as a form of currency. So that's one type of altcoin. Same thing with Litecoin. It doesn't have any purpose above and beyond the potential for its use as a form of currency. Then there are all the altcoins that have real sophisticated purposes, like Ripple, to create a person-to-person transaction, to move money across the world for basically pennies, to create smart contracts, to work with banks. They have utility. Ripple will be used within the Ripple network, but it will probably never be used as a worldwide currency, although that may be untrue. We have to look at Ripple as an altcoin whose major purpose and major function is its utility and how valuable its utility. And I hold Ripple, and I'm going to do a little analysis of Ripple for you to show you how we can create a little bit of a metric on how much Ripple is worth and how much it should be worth. The other thing, because both Lucille and Gary mentioned in 2 different ways that it's really supply and demand, we have to go to social media. Our traders out there are really enthusiastic about purchasing this coin. I mean, what they think is extremely important, because they're the ones that drive the price of the coin up or drive it down. And you have to know the social media sites to go that are really plugged in to provide you with the information that you need to give you a really sound grasp of whether this coin is in bull mode or whether it's in bear mode. And then what's really important is you have to go to the website and look at who the developers are. One of the reasons that I purchased Tron, which is really not one of my 12, it's actually my 13 or 14 blue chips, is because the developer, his last name is Ma, and he is a disciple of the owner of Alibaba. And the guy is the richest 25-year-old in the world, and he is an incredible genius. And he has surrounded himself with a group of software developers that are all amazingly brilliant. That's a reason to purchase an altcoin. Another thing that you need to look for is you go to the website, you see if they have an email address, and even more importantly, you look and see if they have a phone number. And if they have a phone number, you dial it. And if they don't, you have an email, they have an email address, you send them an email and ask them a question. And if they don't respond, forget about it. Forget about it. And in doing my due diligence with Ripple is that I called them and actually scheduled a meeting with one of the developers and discussed their valuation. That's how open they were with me. And it really gave me a really good feeling about the company. It's a real company. There are people there. And I told them I represent 125 buyers, which are the members of my cryptocurrency newsletter. I didn't tell them whether those buyers had 10 cents or they had $10 million. And so they perked up, they took my call, and they connected me to some really good people. And I had a nice conversation with a bunch of people who work intimately with Ripple. That's really the way you get a grasp of the value of an altcoin. Now, let's quickly go to what a blockchain is. A lot of you may already know what it is, and if you do, this will be a little bit of a review. And but if you don't, it's really important. And really, what it is it's a distributed database. If you look at the way technology was prior to the advent of Bitcoin, servers were centralized. Software was placed in centralized servers. I mean, the IRS database is congregated in a series of centralized servers, and that made them more easily hackable. But a distributed database houses a piece of the software program in servers that are located all across the world, which makes it incredibly secure and very, very difficult to hack. Now, we know it's hackable because Bitcoin was hacked. And somebody stole $40 million worth of Bitcoin. And they put a fork in Bitcoin, which is just a kink in the software program to make it more difficult to hack. But anything is hackable, but a distributed database is more difficult. And it's called a blockchain because each piece of information is segregated into packages called blocks. And each block has a private key, and the person who holds the key is the miner who created the block. Now, when I first heard about miners, I thought they were out there with pickaxes, chopping at the side of a mountain, knocking out these metal Bitcoins. I didn't realize that what they were software nerds sitting in their homes on very powerful computers with large video cards and a lot of CPU, a lot of electricity. And they were actually mining, and they were creating blocks with their own individual key. And for that purpose, they were getting paid in Bitcoin. Now, as I mentioned, the decentralization of the process really gives you a tremendous amount of security, and also the fact that that these transactions occur without any kind of bank or government involved provides you with not only security, but also with I want to say anonymity, but it does. But you don't have to rely on fiat currencies, which world banks and central banks like the Fed in the United States really has the ability to manipulate the value of a fiat currency. And they can print the US dollar out of existence. But Bitcoin and all these other coins, their value is totally based on supply and demand. The amount of Bitcoin and all the other altcoins are fixed. They can't be printed over and over again. And so their value is constant, based upon supply and demand only. Central banks, governments, geopolitical upheaval is not going to affect the value of a Bitcoin or an altcoin. The autonomy is really awesome, because a lot of times you don't want to interact with a bank or government. You simply want to make a transaction. Like if you right now, if you want to send money to somebody, and let's say you want to go to a bank and do a wire, you need the involvement of the bank. If the wire, say, is for $10,000, you incur the involvement of the government. You have to explain why you're transferring the money. So all of a sudden, all of these major institutions are looking into your business. This creates a tremendous amount of autonomy. You can transfer any amount of money you want to anybody in the world who you want, and the process is instantaneous, and the transaction is totally anonymous. And it doesn't involve any government or any bank or any form of institution. This is why these are here to stay. People say these coins. Warren Buffett has said this is a fad, but he's very rarely wrong, but he's wrong here. This is here to stay. Again, Bitcoin is 21 million Bitcoin. It's all that will ever exist. You can't continue to mint it, so you can't create inflation and you can't devalue it. And its finite nature really is a hedge against hyperinflation. And who is out there right now trying to create an altcoin? The guy in Venezuela. I can't remember. I can't remember who it is. He's trying to create an oil coin. Only nobody, a crude coin. Only nobody wants to back it and nobody wants to acknowledge it. And so right now it's illegitimate. But why is he doing it? Because the value of the bolivar, which is the currency of Venezuela, is basically zero. And at this point, it takes like 20,000 bolivars to buy a piece of bread. So he wants to create an altcoin, which will be valued based on supply and demand to get around the hyperinflation that he's caused by printing an enormous amount of fiat currency. Again, another reason why these things are not going anywhere. Now, Bitcoin, as I said, relies on a community of miners. The miners group the transactions into blocks and are rewarded by their effort with Bitcoins. Now, it's very important that you understand that there are two ways that miners work. One way is proof of work, i.e., the more work you do, the more Bitcoin you make. And proof of work has produced a problem. Now, because one of the things we want is a decentralized process. We don't want all these servers grouped together. And 4 or 5 years ago, a high school kid who understood a lot about computer programming could become a miner out of his bedroom if he had a big enough computer. But what's happened is competition has created a pool of miners who work together and they centralize their power. They use an enormous amount of electricity. Their aggregate CPU power is enormous, and they've crowded out a lot of the small miners, which really works against this whole process. So what coins like Ethereum have done and Litecoin have done work on proof of stake. And what proof of stake is you have to put up a certain amount of money. So let's say you put up $10,000. That's transferred into the altcoin of the particular network that you want to work in. And you're allocated work not based on the power of your computer, but based on the amount of money that you fund into the network. And part of the master class that I give is telling you how you can invest in master nodes. And master nodes are a great investment that very few people understand. But basically, a master node is simply investing in a proof of stake altcoin that provides you with a fixed amount of income. And I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot more, but some of these pay you 1% per day, 1% per week. Annualized, they give you a really, really nice amount of money. Now, that percentage return varies with the amount of money that they bring in. But it's a really, really nice potential investment if you really do a lot of due diligence on masternode investing. But it's all based on proof of stake. If a miner wants work, he's got to put the money in up front, and he's only going to get as much work as money he invests. So that's a force to decentralize the process. And the better coins all work on proof of stake. So Bitcoin does have a growing list of companies that use it, like Overstock has shot up on it. Now, because of the options that I trade, I look at companies that are accepting Bitcoin, and I also look at companies that work on that have a fingerprint or a thumb in the tech area of creating blockchain. So Expedia, Lamborghini, Dish Network, Intuit, PayPal, and it's just to name a few. So let's just go right to the meat and potatoes here, because these are the companies. These are what I consider to be my blue chip companies. Now, I can't go into too much detail on each coin simply because of the time, and I can't tell you when is the best time to enter, because that's all based on technical analysis. Now, I own Litecoin and I own Ethereum, and I bought them long before I started my newsletter. I was up 650% on Ethereum, and I was up 100% on Litecoin, but they've come back. They've come down. And today there was a huge crash of this market to show you that it's got a lot of weak hands. And you have to be very careful in any investing instrument. There are weak hands and there are strong hands. And the weak hands are the day traders, they're the swing traders, and they're also traders who are sitting in the coin with an enormous amount of profit. When there's any kind of rumble or problem, if you're sitting with a lot of profit, you're going to dump it quick and hope to buy it back cheaper. If you're a swing trader or day trader, you're going to get out of it real quickly because you're just a weak hand. You're looking to stay in a coin that technically is moving up in a bullish fashion. When it stops, you're out. So it shakes out the weak hands, and the only hands that are left holding the coin are those traders that intend to hold it for a significant period of time. So a lot of traders dump these coins today. And I hold Ethereum, but I've recommended Ripple already in the portfolio, and it's down from my purchase price. And I purchased it at a great place in terms of technical analysis, but it's come back. And since I've been watching this market more carefully, I see that almost all of these coins are overpriced. And as I mentioned, that Ripple is really a gross settlement system, and it's integrated. It's an integrated payment network. And what it is looking to do is to really cripple Western Union. Now, Ripple is valued at $20 billion. It was valued at $20 billion. Probably isn't anymore. But if it takes all of the ACH money that is thrown into the system, i.e. all the money for bank wires, all the money for ACH transfers, all the money that Western Union takes, it only should have a $2 billion valuation. But it's got a $20 billion valuation. So we have to be very, very careful about purchasing Ripple, because Ripple is a great coin and I believe it's here to stay. But it's overpriced and we've got to wait for it to come way down. And when it comes way down, I'm going to buy it back. There's Bitcoin Cash. I'm not going to talk too much about Cardano. It's also a really great coin. Litecoin is also a terrific coin. It uses a Lightning network. It does transactions about 25 times faster than Bitcoin. It's got a real future as a form of payment. It also works on proof of stake and not proof of work. NEM is also a very, very good coin. Dash as well. Tron, I already mentioned to you. What is one of the biggest problems if you're in the entertainment industry and you create movies or artwork or music? It's theft and piracy. It's not somebody recording it on their home computer. It's actual digital piracy from hackable servers. And it always seems that 2 days before Star Wars comes out, there's some website located someplace in Eastern Europe that has the movie. And the piracy business in the entertainment industry is enormous. Thus, the creation of Tron. Tron really looks to secure all of the entertainment data. And it's not just it's movies, it's music, it's artwork, it's everything that really good hackers are looking to steal and sell on the black market. And the piracy market is gigantic. Now, if you view a movie that's on the blockchain, on Tron, you have to do it by paying with the currency Tron. So Tron has a real value. It provides a needed service, and you can only transact business on this blockchain using its own alt currency. Now, and I'm not going to talk too much about Ethereum Classic, but it's another one of my blue chips. DentaCoin is simply an encrypted way for the global dental industry to exchange money. And I don't really want to talk too much about Stellar or Neo because I just don't have the time. I'll talk a little bit about Omizi Go because I own Omizi Go. And Omizi Go is really right at the price I bought it. It really is held by strong buyers. And what it is it uses Ethereum infrastructure. I didn't really talk, I'm going to go back and talk a little bit about Ethereum because I want you to understand this. I don't want you to make purchases of any investment that you don't understand thoroughly, like I did during the internet years, and wound up buying companies that had no value. And what Omizi Go is trying to do is become like the E-Trade of the altcoin business. They want to create a platform where you can buy and sell every single altcoin, but also keep your fiat currency. So if you want to have $50,000 and you want to save it in an account, right now maybe you put it in an account in E-Trade, in a money market account. Well, you're going to put it in Omizi Go. And if you want to transfer that money into a stock, you'll be able to buy a stock on Omizi Go. You want to buy futures, they're going to let you buy futures on Omizi Go. But what Omizi Go will also let you do is buy and sell every single altcoin. That's a real unique service. It has no real competitors. That's why I own it. I'm looking for coins that really have a niche and I believe have legs. Now, I purchased Tron too soon, but I believe I'm just going to buy and hold. And I believe because of its function, it's going to come back and it's going to be a $4 or $5 coin someday. Omizi Go is right where I bought it. I'm up about 600% on Ethereum, and I'm down about 50% on Ripple. But I believe, again, Ripple is a real solid coin. And I've learned a lot since I started investing. I started investing very early, and I was lucky enough to get a huge return on Ethereum, a nice return on Litecoin. Now I've not added another coin. And even on this major deflation today, Russia is looking to outlaw these coins. China is looking to outlaw them. South Korea is looking to outlaw them. Another problem I read yesterday was that hackers had actually gone into the Bitcoin exchange and done phony transactions that actually pushed it from $100 a coin to $1,000 a coin without actually making any real transactions. So they owned it at 100, and then they created electronic transactions that didn't occur to push it up to $1,000 a coin, and they made hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's just now being found out. And I just published that information in my last cryptocurrency alert newsletter to show traders that a thinly traded market like Bitcoin back in the day is easily manipulated and probably still has problems with manipulation. So we have to be really, really careful with our money. But these, I think, are the best Bitcoins and the best altcoins. And I see all kinds of videos on YouTube, and I like to listen to them. And I'm going to show you a couple of really offbeat altcoins that I like, that I consider to be much, much higher risk, but potentially have a high return. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Bitcoin anymore. The only thing I want to say about Litecoin is that it's faster than Bitcoin. And that's why I really like it. And that's why I bought it. Also, it uses proof of stake and not proof of work. And I think eventually proof of stake coins are going to have a lot more functionality than proof of work coins as these miners centralize more and more and more. It also uses less energy, which is extremely important as well. So Litecoin has legs, and we don't know. There's going to be one coin that's going to be accepted worldwide, I believe. It may not be able to be bought and sold in a few countries, but it's going to be very hard for them to get around it. There's still going to be transactions made there, and there's going to be very little that they can do. What the law simply states is that you can't buy and sell the currencies there. Banks there can't use them. Institutions there can't use them. If a company is in Russia, it can't take payment in altcoin. But let me tell you, there's going to be a million ways around it. Although that news, along with the news that all these countries are considering outlawing it, have really deflated this market. And I kid you not, I've had 4 pages on my phone. I give out my phone number to a few people in the newsletter, and they've all asked me, should I buy now? Should I buy now? Should I buy now? And the answer is no. I don't know how far the market's going to fall. It didn't base and consolidate. We'll talk a little bit about technical analysis, but right now I wouldn't touch anything. I'm going to skip this slide because I want to move on to the more important stuff. Now, Ethereum is really, I consider to be the king coin, because the Ethereum backbone is what's used to build every other altcoin. You are allowed to make decentralized applications, or dApps. The dApp is what controls Ripple. It's what controls Tron. So the success of any individual altcoin is going to create success for Ethereum, because Ethereum is ultimately not going to allow it's blockchain to be used for free. Right now, you can just go in there and just do whatever you want to do. But ultimately, that's not going to be the way it is. And since every single altcoin except Bitcoin and Litecoin are based on the Ethereum blockchain, it's going to profit from the success of every other altcoin. So it is really a blue chip. The only question is, where is the best place to enter? And that is simply based on technical analysis. And Ethereum, the slide reminds me, is the king of the smart contract. And the smart contract is just, is an amazing function because it drops the price of every single transaction that you do. Right now, when you want to purchase a house, and a house is a good example, but it also happens for even smaller things. When you go to a house, you have to have a broker. The broker, you have to sit and you have to get a closing agent. You have to get a bank involved. There are like 5 parties involved, and they all take a piece of the action, so to speak, and it's really difficult. With the Ethereum smart contract, you simply define a host of parameters that you want to be met if you're selling a house, including the price. Somebody looks at the house, evaluates the smart contract. If they like it, they execute it, and it transfers in Bitcoin the amount of money that's required to pay off the contract, and it's done at lightning speed, cuts out all the middle people. And smart contracts are going to be adopted for everything. And all of this civil litigation that costs billions of dollars in attorney's fees, where people fight over computer code and people argue over the meaning of a contract, it's all going to go by the wayside. Once you execute a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain, it's done. The transaction is completed. You've agreed to the terms, and they are not ambiguous. So it's, as I put here, it's a no-hassle way to make sure both parties are happy with the transaction. And this has major backing from big companies: Intel, Microsoft, Thomson Reuters, MasterCard have created an Ethereum alliance because they all want the ability to manipulate that blockchain, that software code, and create their own dApps on the Ethereum network. So this is a coin that is not only here to stay, it's a major advance in software coding, and it isn't going anywhere. Now, we don't know exactly what it's worth, but we do know that this coin is a permanent fixture here in the world. And if you look at the decrease in value of all the coins, and I haven't done that yet, but I bet you that Ethereum is one of the coins that has fallen the least. This has mostly strong hands. There are fewer weak hands holding Ethereum. Now, I already talked about Ripple a lot, and about the instantaneous transfer of money, and that it's really being adopted by major banks. UniCredit, UBS, Santander is a gigantic bank. Bank of America, it's won the support of Google. And just recently, Ripple closed a huge deal, and I put that deal in my option in the cryptocurrency alert newsletter, just to alert traders in my network, that Ripple is closing deals. It's aggressive, and it's looking to create value for itself. Now, here's one of my highly speculative but potentially valuable coins. And this one is Potcoin. And there's a lot of reasons why I like Potcoin. It is seeking to, it's got a small market cap. It's only $77 million. And what Potcoin is looking to do is become the currency of choice when you make any kind of transaction regarding marijuana. And it really creates a secret way of transferring money to serve a number of purposes. Even if you have a prescription for marijuana, and I haven't done it, but I've read about it, and I don't use it. But listen, if you have a purpose for it, you use it recreationally. I'm not here to talk about the value of marijuana, but the value of Potcoin. The point is, you don't want to go into a dispensary and pay with a check or pay with your credit card. And if you go, and the article I read was how these dispensaries have, at the end of the day, have $10,000 in cash. And they don't want that much money, but everybody pays in cash because they don't want to pay in a way that leaves a trace. In addition, if you want to invest in a company in a major way, let's say you're a major investor and you want to diversify your portfolio and you want to take $50 million and invest in the marijuana industry. Well, maybe you don't want people to know about it. So the way of transferring that $50 million in sort of a secret way, but you don't have to do it by check. You don't have to do it by wire transfer. You don't have to go through a bank. You don't have to go through any institution. You simply transfer it in Potcoin. And what they're looking to do is make it the coin of choice for anyone dealing in pot or marijuana in any way in the marijuana industry. And when I see the marijuana industry as something that's really going to grow. Right now, I don't know how many states it's legal in. I really don't know. Oregon, Colorado, California, maybe other states. I don't really track it, and I don't invest in pot stocks. But I think, 4 or 5 years down the line, it's going to be legal in 25 states. And maybe 7 or 8 years down the line, it's going to be legal in 40 states. So it's a really growing industry. But the need to be sort of secretive about it, I think, is going to remain constant. I don't think you're going to want this on your Visa or MasterCard, that you go to Joe's Potcoin, you go to Joe's pot dispensary, to buy a kilo or whatever it is, a pot. Even if you have a prescription, I don't think that investors are going to want to know that they're pouring money into the cannabis industry. And that's why I like Potcoin. I watch it every single day. It's right now, it's way overvalued. I mean, it's got to come down to under 5 cents a coin before I would think about buying it. But I like it. Now, rather than talk about IOTA, I want to talk about 2 other coins. And the coin that I want to talk about is Funcoin. Now, I didn't get a chance to make a slide on Funcoin, but what Funcoin is a casino coin. And it's the only decentralized software program that allows you to play slot machines and to play poker. And the biggest problem with that industry is that a lot of the people who run these companies are scam artists. And that's the most common email I find in my spam folder are people advertising for online casinos. For one thing, I don't think they're legal in this country, and I don't think you can play them in this country. But what Funcoin is doing is going to create a decentralized dApp on the Ethereum backbone that will be 100% on the up and up, because once the transaction is verified on 25,000 servers worldwide, you can't be cheated out of your money. And when it works on this decentralized Ethereum backbone, it has got to be 100% legit. And so I like Funcoin, and it's really been pumped up by day traders and swing traders. But I look at it and I'm waiting for it to fall back to earth before I pop into Funcoin. And I just wanted to mention that instead of IOTA, because IOTA is also a really important coin, but it's a boring coin. And it's one of my blue chip coins, but it's a really, really good coin. In a way, it competes with Ripple because it's also the instantaneous transfer of money. And it uses what's called the Tangle Ledger. And what's really great about it right now is, unlike Ripple, it doesn't charge you any money. So if you use IOTA and you use IOTA coin, let's say you're in India and you make a total of $25 a day or $25 a week or $25 a month, and you want to transfer money to a cousin of yours on the other side of India, well, you cannot tolerate any transaction fees if you want to send them, $4.75. Through the IOTA network, you can do it without any charge. And again, it's instantaneous and it's verifiable, so you can't be screwed out of your money, to put it bluntly. And I also want to backtrack for a second and tell you that right now, Ripple is being used in, I believe it's Indonesia, in all of their McDonald's as a pilot program to see how well altcoins are accepted in McDonald's. And if it works, McDonald's is going to roll Ripple out into 36,000 McDonald's worldwide. And then Ripple will become the world's most common coin used as a method of transacting business. So Ripple has great potential. And even though I'm holding it at a loss, I'm going to hold it. But I've learned really a little bit the hard way. I have 2 coins with huge profit and 2 coins I'm holding at a loss. Omisi Go is at break even. But now I'm very, very, very careful moving forward about getting, and I don't want you, I'm not proffering myself as the mega guru who's going to make you 100,000% and have the secret. There is no secret here. You have to value the coin in real life money. You have to create some kind of valuation in your own head. And there is no secret recipe for making 100,000% unless you have some inside information on a 1-cent coin and know that it's going to go to $1. And I don't think anyone has that information. Now, what I wanted to do was show you some of the software that you need in order to trade. And very few people know this, because buying and selling altcoins is not that easy right now. And you have to have a Coinbase account. And I can't show you my Coinbase account because I have one. And it's going to show you the amount of money I have and the amount of Ethereum I own and the amount of Litecoin I own. So I created this interface if you've never seen it before. It's very easy to sign up on Coinbase. You just go in, you upload your driver's license front and back, you put in your phone number. It then sends you a code to your phone. You put the code in. Then you connect it to your bank. It takes about 24 to 72 hours in order for the transaction, in order for them to approve you. I heard now that it can take as long as a week because they're so backed up. But this is just the interface for Coinbase. And if you're going to trade altcoins and you're going to trade Bitcoin, which is considered Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin, you must have a Coinbase account. It's sort of the central hub of your trading network, and it's important you get into this. And and you should do it tomorrow if you ever want to buy or sell an altcoin. You don't have to put any money in it. You just have to be approved on it. And here's how it looks. You know, it's very crude. You don't use it to do any charting purpose whatsoever. But it just allows you to buy and sell these 4 coins. Now, I want to take you off the slides and give you some really good, really pretty cool information here. And I'm telling you, this is what a lot of people make you pay for. And so I'm not tooting my horn here, but it really is true. Let me go back to the last slide I showed, because I forgot what I put. Oh, it's coinmarketcap.com. You must go to this website. It's free. And you may have seen it before. Let me just find it here. I have so many. Here it is. Now here's coinmarketcap.com. And it's very, very useful. Now, you can put it by volume. But what I like to do is stack all the coins by price. So you hit the price button, and it starts with the most expensive coin to the least expensive. If you're interested in doing your little pennies, you just reverse it. And you can see Dentacoin is worth 1/100th of a cent. So here's where you have your little penny coins. And Tron is down to 4 cents. It's real cheap. Now it does rudimentary charting. It's really taken a beating, but it will come back from a high of 20. And I just want you to see what's important here is all you hear about are cryptocurrency billionaires and cryptocurrency gurus, but they don't tell you that there's a lot of people losing a lot of money. And if I can get this thing to work, here it is. Although a lot of traders were sitting at 25 cents in Tron, who are still holding it when it's 6 cents. So don't think that you don't have to create technical analysis and get into these coins at a good price, because a lot of people are losing a lot of money on Tron. Now, the other really good thing about coinmarketcap.com is, let's say you want to purchase Ripple. You go to markets and it shows you what platforms Ripple trades on. Here's Bitfinex. I'm a member of Poloniex, and I think you need Poloniex. We're going to talk about that. I have an account on Kraken, and I think you need Kraken. This is the problem. There's no centralized exchange yet, and that's what OMeasy Go is looking to be. So if you want to trade certain coins, and one of those coins is Ripple, you got to be a member of one of these exchanges. And all you have to do is click on this, and it will take you to Kraken slowly but surely. Well, I don't see it here. Here it is. And there's Kraken. So you can start the setup process here on Kraken. Whoops. That's my webinar. Now, the other, it's going to go down my slides here, is Coinigy. And I'll show you the site. If you actually want to do technical analysis, here's the site. It's COINIGY, coinigy.com. It's very, very easy to sign up for. You don't pay for it. Just use the free version. And you're only going to pay for it if you want to use it to trade, and you're never going to trade off of this site. What you're going to do is you're going to use it to do your technical analysis. Now, here's IOTA versus the US dollar. This is exactly what you want. And here's the 3-month. Here's the 1 month. Actually, this is 3 months. 1 month, 1 week, 3 days, And you can see, you can do some pretty sophisticated technical analysis. And I like the fact that it's in candlesticks. And you can change whether these are 12-hour candlesticks, daily candlesticks, 3 hours. So this is the most sophisticated platform that you can get for free. And the ones you pay for are no better. Coinigy, COINIGY.com. Now, it also allows you to do a lot of technical analysis, but I don't believe in that. I don't think any of this has any predictive power in determining where price is going to go into the future. But if you want to put in a check-in money flow, you can put it right here. And then you can find out the hard way that it doesn't do any good. But I'm gonna put it in the trash. Well, I can't get rid of it. I'll get rid of it later. But you can do that. I'm just gonna squeeze it down here right now. So that's Coinigy. Now, the next site you want to look at is FinViz. Now, FinViz is kind of, is sort of optional. But I've had a lot of traders talk to me about FinViz, and I really like FinViz. And what FinViz does is and I would consider getting the paid version. If you really want to become good at technical analysis, FinViz allows you to scan. Now, if you want to trade stocks, it's a great stock scanner. Now, I'll show you now as a scanner. Home, screener, I have a preset right here. I look at only stocks over 200,000 shares traded a day, only in the United States, and only over $7. If they're trading less than $7, if they have a thin float and don't trade fairly heavily, they're not on a US exchange, I don't want to look at them. And then I can just do a quick float down and look at what stocks I think are trading in a manner that would allow me, and it's just practice. Because the technical analysis you do for stocks is exactly the same kind of technical analysis you're going to do for trading altcoins. And I see a lot of people out there telling you there's one pattern to trade, one pattern to trade. And to some extent, they're right. There really is. And I'm going to try to show that to you quickly so you don't have to pay them the $5 million they're going to charge you. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to skip CoinDesk, because I don't want to throw too much here at you. I'm going to skip blockchain info. Now, here's a really important slide. I'm going to have to bring it over. I'm going to have to go down. I hate to go through these again, but this is worth showing you. And this is a must purchase if you want to trade. It's the Ledger Nano S. The Ledger Nano S allows you to take your altcoins and Bitcoins, put them in your Ledger Nano, which sticks into your USB port. You move it into here. It's got a 12-word security code. You put in a 5 or 7-digit passcode. It's impregnable, and you take them off the internet. You don't use a digital wallet that's connected to the internet. I just read yesterday that a digital wallet was hacked to the tune of a lot. I can't remember if it was 20 million or 40 million. You take it off the internet. You put it in a place where your kids won't throw it in your trash disposal, or throw it in the swimming pool. And this is where you keep all your Bitcoins and altcoins. When you want to trade them, you simply stick it back into your USB port. It instantaneously, at your command, will transfer a fixed amount of either cash or coin into the platform of your choice, and then you can trade it, and then move it back. Now, the Ledger Nano S, the cheapest place I found it is Amazon. It used to be $97, which is what I paid for it. It's now $295. Now, to Gary and Lucille, the power of supply and demand is working here on the Ledger Nano S. The price is going up, and it's not going to come down for the foreseeable future. This is a must. You have to take your coins off the internet. Now, let me see where I am next here. Now, I have to show this slide. I'm just going to show it to you here. For your smartphone, CoinCap is a great app. Now, it's the best app that you're going to be able to get to stick on your phone. It's going to show you up the price in real time of every coin. It's actually going to allow you to make little folders, little subfolders. You can make one for the coins you own. You can make one for your watch list. It will give you really, really, crude charts. It's a really great app. The problem is it sticks a lot. And I have an iPhone 8 and it still sticks on my iPhone 8. But when it works, and it works most of the time, it's a terrific phone app. And I strongly recommend that you get it if you want to delve into the altcoin business. Now, I already showed this slide. And here's what I just want to show you. And I've told you, I'm going to show you what I swear to you, and I'm not joking you here, you're going to be charged a lot of money for by anybody else, and I think it's ridiculous. I just have to bring up Paint. And I'm going to show you I'm going to reveal all the secrets of the gurus right here. And I'm going to show you a couple of charts. And I know I'm running, this is supposed to be an hour. I'm now running into an hour and a half, but I don't care. I really want everybody here who gave me their time to really get a lot of quality information from this. Now let's just hit this paintbrush. And we're going to take a stock. The stock goes up like that. It comes down. It consolidates like this. Then it starts to move up. That's pattern number one. Here's pattern number two. Stock comes up, comes down, consolidates, starts to go up. Here's pattern number three. Stock goes up, comes down, and consolidates. Now, which of these three patterns is the most powerful? And I'm going to make this A, make this B, and just to show me you're awake, I need you to tell me which one. And I'm not going to mention anybody's name, so if you're wrong, it's no big deal. Which pattern is the strongest pattern to trade? And I'm telling you, I paid to learn this, which I already knew. I paid $400, and this was the takeaway message. And I kid you not. So I'm giving you $400 worth of charting. Which do you think is the most? Okay, C. Okay, I got two C's. Anyone else? Anybody? Come on. We got a lot of people in the room. We only got two C's. Okay. Everybody else is silent. Here, I'll tell you, you're close, but let me tell you why. The answer is B. And the reason it is because when any financial instrument is in consolidation, and remains in consolidation. You don't know when it's going to come out of consolidation. And you can see I clearly created this tail moving up. Now, B is a much better pattern than A because B gives you that 100% or close to 100% retracement. And if you look here, you know that at this level, there's a lot of strong hands. They're not likely to let the stock drop. If it does, it's technically broken, and you're not going to touch the coin. But you want to make sure that it comes out of consolidation and there's enough buying interest to create this leg up before you go into it. Now, this is, I'm telling you from trading options. You can trade C, since this isn't a time-sensitive instrument. But let me tell you why C is a problem. There's always the chance that C will break down. And once it breaks support here, remember what I told you about a broken financial instrument? Well, it's busted. And you got to bail out immediately. What's happened here is it's based and it's already started to move up. So B is the most powerful charting pattern and the one that all these crypto gurus are looking for on these 1 and 2 cent penny altcoins to trade. And they're all, I'll just show you, they're looking for one other. They're looking for ye old I can't keep this. Bull flag pattern. You get this huge move up that you never chase. Now you wait for the retracement, and sometimes it doesn't always retrace smoothly like this. It retraces, it comes up, retraces, it comes up, retraces, it comes up. So what you do is you look for a series of sequential higher lows and a series of sequential higher highs. And once it starts forming this pattern, you can call this a rising channel. You can also call this, if you like, technically it's not a rising triangle. It really is a rising channel, but it's part of a bull flag pattern. And the next time it comes down, that's where you buy it. And your hope, here's resistance, the high of the move. Your hope is that it's going to break out of the channel, go all the way to the high right here, and slam through and give you what's called a blue sky breakout. That's a home run. And that's where, if you're going to day trade 1 cent altcoins, you got it. That's correct, Lucille. You got it. Correction B. And the reason B is better is you got the 100% retracement, which is a better retracement than a 50%. So you had to pick one. There's nothing wrong with trading it, but this one is better because it places the price of the stock in the hands of the most secure holders. I said stock, but I mean altcoin. It doesn't matter what it is. It puts the price, the only traders holding this coin right now are the ones that just don't want to give it up. If they give it up and it breaks, you got to run, because this is a technical collapse, and you call this free fall, and there's no bottom anymore, and this stock can go to 1 cent. Now, it's obviously not going to. Somewhere buyers are going to come in when they see it's valuable enough to hold off the selling. But once it breaks this kind of technical support, that's why you got to see this leg up, and why this is such a strong pattern. This series of rising highs. Now, you could trade it long here. And you could trade it long here. Right here. But let me just turn the sound off here. What you're hoping for, now you're not going to lose any money on the trade, because every time it comes back and creates a low, it's creating a higher low. And so what you're doing is you're consistently making money as the price of the coin moves up the channel. And you're looking for that bam. And what's going to happen? When you trade this, it shows that the bulls are in control. When the bulls push it up, the sellers can only push it down to create a higher low. The bulls create a higher high, the sellers create a higher low. Bulls a higher high, bears a higher low. And it's only a matter of time, usually, that the bulls just explode this coin out through the top. Now, you don't chase it on the parabolic move up, even if the move is, I can't curve it. Let me try to get a curved thing here. I don't know if I can even do it. I don't know if this squiggle works. Now, doesn't matter. I think you know what I mean. Even if this has got somewhat, actually I can, but even if it curves up, you never chase that parabolic move up. You let it go up, and really you let the dummies chase a financial instrument up. You wait for it to retrace and base either here and turn up, or here and turn up, or create this kind of bullish pattern and trade it off the bottom channel, and you're likely going to get a breakout. Now I just avoided you paying $400 because that's what you were going to get in the $400 secret crypto trading strategy. Only trade one strategy and make $1 million. And what they do and what they're and the reason I know it is because I paid the money. And then I got a refund because I didn't learn anything but this. And all I did was waste my time listening to these guys tell me their story about how they were living in this street on a manhole cover, and then they started trading cryptocurrencies, and now they're in a mansion. So this is all they're going to teach you, is just to recognize these trading patterns. And what they're going to tell you to do is you find one coin that you don't have to scan 25 coins. And when it creates a bullish pattern, you chase it up. When it finally starts to come back, you sell it. Because it's held by human beings, every single financial instrument retraces, and eventually it's going to set up another bullish pattern, and you just trade it long. And you do that, and it's called milking one coin. And maybe you can use two, but that's all you need to do. And this is all you're going to learn in this $400 session. And they're going to go through all the patterns of all the coins until they find a couple that have this pattern. And there may be none right now because the market's just deflated today, and we may not be able to show any. And because you're such a nice crowd, I'm going to show you one thing real quickly, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to show you something that I normally don't show. I've never done this, but I'll do it for you guys. Whoops. Now remember, trading altcoins is from a technical basis is exactly the same as trading stocks. It's simple. It's the same as trading bonds. It's the same as trading gold. These are all financial instruments. They're held by human beings. And so the mentality of fear and greed, that alternating emotion, governs the way these instruments move over and over and over again. Let me just move this over. I think this one's, I'm just going to show you a couple of really, really amazing patterns on stocks, and you're going to get these exact patterns on cryptocurrencies. It's going to be identical. Now you can see today was one heck of a brutal day in the market, except I've gotten out of everything. And I exited Google today when it was up 20 points and it closed down a lot. So I made good money today. And let's just show you this because I love to do technical analysis. This is Alba Marie. Look what happened to Alba Marie today. It fell apart and it broke. I watched these. It broke my technical support. So right now, it's a broken stock. I can't trade. Let me show you just some patterns here. Let me see if I can find one that's really nice for you. See, today I kind of messed things up a bit. Okay, well, here's Raytheon. This is a stock that I created an options position on that was very lucrative. And all I did was trade the pattern that I showed you. And this is how you're going to trade an altcoin. We're going to clear this all off. And all we're going to do is now I'm going back 20 days. And I'm only going to do this with one or two stocks. But let's go to 3 months and let's look at Raytheon. And what we're going to see here is a series of higher lows and two equal highs. And what we get on the 3 month is a rising triangle. It's very clear that we get a move up and a move back, and a move up and back. This is just what the altcoins are going to do. And up and then back. Now, let's take it and move it to a shorter term time frame. Same style. You're going to see the exact thing that I drew. I'm going to go to a 20-day. The 20-day is my favorite. Now, here's the pattern on a 20-day. And you can see that you want to take a trade right around here. Whoops. Right around this level. Sorry here. And this bullish candle, and you're going to get these on Coinigy, is a tremendously bullish pattern. You let this occur, the stock consolidates. Goes up, it consolidates. And then it consolidates. And once I see this, I'm in on an options position. And the stock goes all the way up to here. And all it is a series of moves up, consolidation. A big candle up, consolidation. A move up, consolidation. Then you actually get a consolidative pattern here, and then the continuation up, consolidation. Whoops, I'm sorry. These are exactly how the altcoins trade, exactly the same way. And what you're simply going to do, if you want to trade technically, you take this consolidative pattern, you buy the altcoin of the lower channel, and look for the breakout to the top. And that's how I trade currents, and that's how I trade. And I'll show you Google. And I'll show you exactly the reason why I bought Google. I bought Google. Look at the exact same pattern. I mean, tell me this isn't identical to the one that I just showed you. Let me remove all the old drawings. Here it goes. Now, remember, you never buy a falling stock. You wait, and you can see you have support right here. You didn't drag it very well, but it's right here. Like, you have to wait. Remember that lip I told you about? There's the move up. There's the consolidative pattern. There's the move up. There's consolidation. There's the move up. There's consolidation. And at some point, you got to say to yourself, I'm in. And I went in here, and Google went all the way to here. My strike price was $11.40. My entry on the stock was $1,100. I took it right out of this consolidative pattern here. And it exploded out of this 40 points in just a few days. And my spread was 1,100, 1140. Today, with that wick, it touched 1140, and I closed the position for myself and for everyone in the portfolio via SMS text messaging. So that's how you trade altcoins. You look for a move up, consolidation, a move up, consolidation. And all this is what remember what I told you? Here's the move up. Here's that move all the way back down. And then we look for that little lip up first. There's the lip up. Remember what I told you, the $400 pattern that I'm showing you? Here it is. It starts here. There's the 100% retracement. We don't want to take it here. We want to wait for it to roll up. I could have taken it here, except I didn't see it. And if I had seen it, I would have taken it here, and I would have gotten a bigger move. But I can't watch everything all the time, but this is exactly the pattern I drew for you in paint. You get the move up, the 100% retracement, right back to the strong hands, and then there's that lip up, and boom, 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 boom. It moves up, always jumping up and then consolidating. And that consolidation is very healthy. When you see that, it tells you you're in good shape. The only thing that worried me was right here. Now, it wasn't a complete technical break of support, but I was concerned about this move down. It was a gap, but it closed it immediately, came back to the channel, and then blew right through it. So that's the pattern you're going to look for. And here it is on Thinkorswim trading stocks. You're going to get the same pattern on Coinage trading any kind of penny altcoin if you want to do it. You just wait for the retracement, the lip, the move up, consolidation, the move up. And really, what is this really creating? A series of higher lows and a series of higher highs. That's all. It's that same pattern. So I haven't done that before, but I just wanted to show you it does work. And I use it all the time when I trade options. And it will work with your altcoins. This is what I'm looking for to get us into the best altcoins at the best price. Now, here's what I'm offering you. I'm supposed to have a really elegant page, but my page really stinks. But I have a cryptocurrency alert newsletter. We've had 10 alerts already. We are in 3 coins in the newsletter, Ripple, Omizi Go, and Tron. I'm holding off on any additional purchases because of the way the market is behaving, but I'm looking to create in this newsletter an aggressive portfolio of blue chip cryptocurrencies. I said when I initially created this, I was looking at 5 to 10, but it's going to be a dozen. Now it has an SMS text messaging service, so that if tomorrow we get a flash crash and the whole market collapses 25%, we're just going to go and then we're going to buy 3 coins. And if you're out in the shopping mall or you're at work in your office and you don't have the ability to look at your computer, you're going to get a text message, and the text message is going to tell you what coin to buy and what price to enter. And that's how we're going to build our 12 blue chips. Now, some of those, 2 or 3, are going to be more aggressive. Like I'm waiting for Potcoin, I'm waiting for Funcoin, and I'm waiting for a Tron is also pretty aggressive. They're very, very small priced altcoins. The others, I want to create blue chips, where at the beginning of 2019, we can be up 500%, 600% on these coins. And on some of our little coins too. I mean, if Potcoin catches on, if another state approves the use of marijuana, Potcoin will go up. And as they go up, it's going to go up more and more and more and more. And for this webinar, it's $49 a month, which is pretty cheap. And I do an enormous amount of work on it. Now, the masterclass, the last one I gave, it's 4 hours. It lasted 5 hours and 45 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I really am going to go into a lot of the coins I discussed. We're going to do a lot of technical analysis, and I'm going to walk you through how to create your account, how to set up your thumb drive, how to do all of the really cumbersome, difficult stuff that a lot of traders find annoying in order to start trading altcoins. We're going to go to Poloniex. Now, Bitfinex and Bitfinance are closed. We can't get into those anymore. So we're going to look at Poloniex. We're going to sign up. We're going to go into Kraken. We're going to sign up. We're going to set up our thumb drive. We're going to position ourselves for approval on the platforms we need to trade. And we're going to have the software. You're going to see how to set up your external Bitcoin drive. And like I said, the last one went almost 6 hours. We're going to do it until we're done. So the next class is January 20th. And the reason I limit it to 10 seats is simply because I get so many questions. That's why it went an extra hour and 45 minutes. And I don't stop until the questions are done. So that's it. I hope you learned a lot from that. Thank you so much, Kathy. The best exchanges, I'm going to show you what the best exchanges are. Okay, just because you asked, I'm going to tell you. Now, here's my, just let me give you my little preamble here. You know what, I'll just go right to the best exchanges. And if you hang on 1 second, I'll show them to you. Okay. I got to go into my hidden secret file here, and I'll show you what they are. Now, if I tell you all the information, we have nothing to tell you in my webinar, in my 4-hour seminar, but I'll give you the info. Hold on a minute. Here it is. Hold on 1 sec. I'll have it up for you. Hold on. Let me find it. Where the heck is it here? Hold on. It's disintegrating here. Hold on. Hang on one sec here. I'll find it. All right, I have to look someplace else, unfortunately. Hold on one second. I know where it is. I'm gonna have to go to the ultimate source here, and I'll show you what they are. I have to go to eye contact, and I'll open it up for you. And hang on one sec. Okay. Hold on. Where the heck did I put it? Hold on for a second here. Oh man, hold on. Sorry. I've got so many folders in so many places. I had the 12 best exchanges. And I went through a lot of work to find them. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Okay, that's not it. That's a little advertising. Hang on a second here. I'm just looking here. Okay. I just want to show you something. Here's a PDF I got in that $400 class. I told you, this is what you get if you pay $400. That same thing that I showed you cost me all that money. I saved it because it was sort of, if I can't find it, I'll have to email it to you. I'll go in and I will get it and find it because I have it. And I don't know where the heck I put it, but I know I have it. And it's really aggravating that I can't find it because I spent so much time putting it together. Let me see if it's up here. Let me look one other place. No, I cannot find it. I'm really sorry about that. I apologize, but I will go in and get your email address and send it to you. Okay? Hang on one second. Let me just go and see if there are any questions. I will send a follow-up email, and I'll also send you a copy of the webinar. I know that listen, even Poloniex, Gary, Poloniex, Kraken, they're all rough right now. But let me just say one thing, because we still have almost 90% of the people who started still here. When the exchanges are overwhelmed and the big ones are down, this is the time to get into the market, because this is the time. These are the small traders like us rushing in, and what we want to do is we want to get in. I read a big thing from Goldman Sachs saying they can't evaluate the price of these coins. They're not going to put their investors' money into any altcoins. These are being avoided like the plague by the mutual funds, by the hedge funds, by the big money, by the big brokerage firms. But eventually they're going to capitulate. And when they do, if we're in the blue chip altcoins and there's that rush of money in, when they start making 50 and $100 million purchases, and they're going to have to, because their investors are going to demand it. They're going to demand the ability to leverage this asset class from them, or they're going to go to some place that does. So once the dam is broken, they're all going to have to do it. That's what we want to do, and that's what I want to position for. This is what I personally am doing. I'm sitting here, even if it's 2019, I want to be sitting in the best coins. So when the brokerages and all the and they create the first mutual fund that just holds altcoins, I want to be holding 80% of the altcoins that those mutual funds buy. That's what's going to send us through the roof. And the fact right now that all of these little investors are swamping these exchanges is a great thing, is great for us, because 90% of the people do not know what they want to buy. They don't have a clue. And all technical analysis is exploiting the mistakes of the other small trader. If we look at it this way, that we never counter trend trade. We always take a trade in the direction of the general trend, but we always want to take a retracement into that trend. And the trend is taken by the majority of, the trend is created by the majority of money. Right now, there's no institutional money, so it's a majority of the commercial traders. But eventually, when the institutional traders come, they're going to bid the price of these coins up like you have no idea. So here's the master class. We're going to set everything up. I have one coin that rules them all. I already told you what it is. It's Ethereum. And how to move coins from exchange to exchange, how to research the coins. I think what, the 13 cryptos are going to be the ones that change the world. I already gave away a lot of stuff. Bitcoin pattern lessons, Bitcoin candlestick lessons, why to focus on the coin leaders, and my personal favorite coins. I mean, I already gave you about 25% of this, but we're going to go into a lot more depth and a lot more information. We're going to position ourselves into these coins, and we're going to make money. I take every recommendation I make, just like I do in my options newsletter. Here is, let me just go back to our phone number and our address, and I will be sending you a follow-up email. And you're welcome to call me anytime right here. Let me see if there are any other questions. Lucille, it is a good buy, and I'll just tell you why, and I'm not selling for you yet. What I put out in the newsletter are not just buy-sell recommendations. If I see, like to this morning, before the market fell, I put out I created the newsletter last night telling all of our investors that the market today was going to crash and don't buy anything. And I gave all the reasons why. The problem in South Korea, and also the problem with the information that the price of Bitcoin was actually manipulated up from $100 to $1,000 on phantom trades that created hundreds of millions of dollars of wealth for these guys that created, and the two computer programs that hacked into the exchanges were given names. And I felt that all of that information was going to sink these markets. So it's also to give you information about what to avoid. And right now, with the markets crashing, we're looking at a potential buying opportunity. Let's let all the air out and buy at the best opportunity. You saw what it is. It's almost a 100% retracement, but we'll take a 75% if it comes back, consolidates, gives us that leg up, consolidates, we'll be in on the next leg up. So I have to tell you, it really is. I try to keep you kind of give you the heads up on all the important stuff in the cryptocurrency markets, and I get a lot of data feeds in order to get that information. Okay, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. All right, everyone, listen, have a really, really nice evening. I hope you learned a lot of stuff from this. I just don't like to give webinars and throw you teasers and baloney, and then at the end of the day, you have to pay me in order to learn anything. I mean, I want you to learn information from this, really, really solid stuff. And I hope you did. I think you will profit from the newsletter because I mean to profit from it. And if you really want to get a thorough understanding of the market, do more technical analysis, learn how to set up all the exchanges, learn how to set up your thumb drive, learn how to work everything, then I think the investment of $4.99 to get you a real launch into this arena is worth it. And I'm telling you, for this information, they're charging $2,000 and $3,000, and I already gave away a lot of it. So listen, have a great evening. Thank you so much, Lucille. I appreciate it. So have a great evening. That's my phone number. I'll be here for 15 minutes, but you're going to get a follow-up email shortly. I just want to include a copy of the video. I'm going to wait till it renders, and then I'll send out the follow-up. Have a great evening. And no matter what you do, I really wish you guys the best of luck, because we're the small guy, we're the small fry. Everyone else is looking to take advantage of us. Let's exploit them by getting in on the appropriate technical analytical pattern, get in on a rising channel, and all that is we're going to run over all the traders who are selling, and we're going to buy right through them. Unfortunately, we can't stop anybody out here because you can't sell short, but we're going to get in at a really good price. So take care, have a great evening, and best of luck to everybody. Good night, everyone.